Kelly's going to put this on here too because she's amazing. Is it, I love you, I was wrong and I'm sorry, I need help, I appreciate you, or Worcestershire sauce?
No, but we're keeping that one out.
Worcestershire sauce. Yeah, I mean, this one's for fun. That actually doesn't count. You can't pick that. Unless you're me, and then that really is obviously the one I struggle with because I couldn't say it right there. And I really tried.
Hey, Eva, Deborah.
Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
So, just as a recap, if you're listening live, Jannelle, what's your struggle again?
I struggle with number one.
Like all of them.
I know, right?
Not number one. You don't struggle with I love you.
No, with the first one, that I struggle with, is saying, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I'll say it eventually, but I want to get better at saying it right when it happens. And
Len.
And it's not. It's usually with Len, to be honest. Because that's like more complicated problems. Like I love apologizing to my kids. I'll tell them anytime. My friends. It usually shows up in marriage issues. The problems are more intense. There's more baggage. The kids. And friends, it's just different kind of relationship. But we were waiting to find out. I already talked enough. What do you struggle with?
Well, let's say hello to people here. We're not going to say hello?
Hola, Jessie. Hola, buenos dias. She says, muchachos, I will get up earlier to listen to you guys.
You should.
Eva says, hey, guys, can I buy a travel mug? My husband received mugs for both of us, but one was missing the slide for the lid.
Well, these are very special, limited edition things. We have about 200 or 300 of these, and we randomly give them out. They are not for sale. So, and if you don't like that idea, it's Jannelle's fault. Just remember that, Jannelle.
Oh yeah.
So,
hi, Nathan.
Again, which
Mike,
of these?
Janet.
The question today, which is the hardest for you to say, and we're eliminating Worcestershire sauce because it's just funny. Is it hardest for you to say, I love you, I was wrong, and I'm sorry, I need help, or I appreciate you? And Jannelle has been very annoyed with Brian today.
Well, Brian's evading the question. He already said he doesn't struggle with asking for help. So we know that. Do you struggle saying I love you?
Should we let people guess?
Yes. Go ahead, guys. Guess. Which one do you think Brian struggles with? Suzanne, good morning. She says, good morning to you both. Hey, Rob.
What's up, Rob?
And who's this? Jesse, thank you for hitting the love button.
That was for me.
Yeah, of course. Kelly, what's up? She says, the older I get, the easier it is to say I'm sorry and the harder to ask for help.
Oh, interesting.
Janet says, I need help. Mike says, some of those used to be hard for me, but I'm pretty comfortable saying all of them at this point in my life.
So we have a few people saying that as you age, all of these become easier. I think that's interesting. Do you think that's true?
Yeah, I could see. It used to be harder for me to say I'm sorry. And because I thought I had it all together when I was younger.
You still don't think that?
Huh? No. I don't. I wish, actually. Sarah says, can I answer? That's right.
I was actually...
Thank you. Yes, Sarah.
I was going to call you, baby. I was going to call you. Because I thought... But it was like, no, she's at work. I did it to her once this week.
Oh, my goodness.
Who is best equipped to answer this question?
Oh, my... Sarah.
My wife.
That's right.
My wife. Again, so let's have my wife answer, because Sarah Jean, you'd be with Jannelle.
Wow, he used your middle name.
Exasperated because I've been evading this one. So, which one is hardest for me to say? Let's see what my wife says.
Nathan is on YouTube. What's up, Nathan? Yes, you can go ahead and answer on YouTube. Nathan says, I was wrong. I'm sorry. That's what he struggles with. That one, and you know what? I always say it eventually, but I'm learning more and more that, no, there's a reason why I wait to say it. And so I want to grow more and say it as soon as I know I'm wrong.
Did you see Kinney?
Kinsey says, it can be painfully hard for me to ask for help. Oh, why? Can you tell us why, Kinsey?
People struggle with asking for help.
Why don't you struggle? Len texted and literally asked that. Why don't you struggle
with asking for help?
Yeah.
I've got this awkward thing about me in my personality that I I really like to categorize and figure out what I'm good at and what I'm not good at, because what irritates me is people who
Stop! Sarah says you struggle saying I was wrong. Wow. Let it go down in the records that Jannelle was courageous enough to put it out there and break it down. You couldn't even say it.
No,
oh my
no, that's not true. That's not true.
Oh my goodness.
What was fun for me?
You couldn't even say it. And then she says you have a very hard time admitting when you are wrong.
What?
Oh, Sarah, we gotta go hang out. You my girl.
What I was really doing all this time was seeing how long I could avoid answering the question.
Nope.
And enjoying every minute of her squirming about it.
You could have ministered to people on air. You could have really blessed people that can't join us. Thank you. You should have been the first one to be like, I'll say what I struggle with.
Nope.
Hello.
So, ladies first. So,
nope.
Do you think my wife is right based on your experience working with me?
There have been times, seriously speaking, that you have been very good at apologizing. But I think you struggle in the same way I do. In the heat of the moment, you don't say it and you're stuck on your position.
Well, it's not my fault that I'm generally right.
No. And I think that's what it is. That's what it is. I think just kind of bringing it back to me just to, because I can't speak for you in this. That's what, like in my relationship with Lynn, that's what I find myself doing. In the heat of the moment, I'm so stuck on my position. I can't like bring myself down and really calm down and really say, you know what, I think, you know, you might have a point. It's hard. And so when I calm down and we walk away, then it's easier. But I think what gets me in that quote unquote heat, it's pride. It's hard to come down when you're in the heat of the discussion. So I'll continue. What is your reason? Why do you struggle? Because you'll do it in my experience, marriage is very different. In my experience with you, you'll do it eventually. What is it?
Because I love a good debate too much to give up that easily.
Is it the love of the debate?
It's
or
is it
the admittance of, dang,
I mean, obviously at the root of it's pride. That's obviously at the root of it.
Why did you struggle saying it on air?
I was having fun with you. No, I was literally, I decided when we started this that I was not going to say what mine was and watch you squirm.
Yeah.
Just for fun. And it worked.
Wayne says he also struggles with, I was wrong. It's not easy. It is not easy. Sandy says, good morning. Asking for help is difficult because I am a strong woman and I used to think no one can do this like I can. Oh, yeah. That is pride. I have gotten much better at asking for help, but also I am 75 years old now. Never too late to learn. That's the truth. I love that spirit, Sandy. That actually is very encouraging to me because we should be constantly growing. Kathy says, yes, your wife knows you best.
Yeah, in fact, my wife, as you would notice, my lovely wife Sarah, who I love so much, she's very astute. She's correct on her assessment. She hasn't listed which one she struggles with the most.
No, can I guess? Can I guess?
Go ahead.
Well, you said. And I think she's a strong woman and she's smart. And I can understand.
Well, officially, I've said she doesn't struggle with any of these.
No. I know. But I can relate with her. And it wouldn't surprise me if she says asking for help is difficult for her. But not that, I mean, it's just only because I can relate about women. And when you feel like, yo, I got this, it's hard sometimes. So, Sarah, correct me if I'm wrong. Kinsey says, I feel judged at work. I'm a firefighter, paramedic, when I need to ask for help just because I'm a smaller female. I can understand that. Decades ago, was an engineer and I interned, and I can understand in certain environments where you work with men, you gotta prove, like, you know what the heck you're doing, because you lose credibility. Is that wrong? Forget ministry. In corporate, do you think that's valid for women to feel that?
I understand people's hesitancy to do that early on in the phase of career that I've been told is the credibility building phase. When you're first in an organization, you want to show people that you're credible so that you can do things. And so I understand the hesitancy in that phase of career. But once you've established your credibility in an organization, pride keeps you from asking for help. Because I think asking for help actually builds credibility.
Why? Can you break that down? Why? builds credibility asking for help?
Because people value humility as an attribute, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, scriptures value humility,
Yeah.
no doubt about it. And that being the case, when someone can ask for help, they're actually exemplifying humility, and that's an attractive thing about someone.
So in what I explained to you as a woman when I was growing my family, there are other women in this situation, or men who wanna come off like, yo, I can take care of my family, I got this. Isn't it true? Or how do you fight the feelings of, if I ask for help, then it's showing that I can't handle what's on my plate? You know, like, how does it not show that? I can think of people right now that if I would have been like, oh, can you watch the kids for whatever, it would have been like, I told you, you got too many kids.
Jannelle, it does show that because you can't.
So, yeah.
Right?
But we're supposed to handle, like, we're supposed to, it doesn't, yeah, I know. I'm just, or maybe people read us wrong.
My wife answered the question because she's amazing, best wife in the whole world, ladies and gentlemen. My beautiful wife, Sarah, she thinks you're right. That she struggles with
it's hard.
Asking for help. Because she's a strong woman and she is good at a lot of things. I'll give her that. I don't think she struggles with any of them, though. She's great.
She's awesome.
She's great.
Carlton, love when you come. He says, I really don't ask for help. I'm so used to doing it myself because when I did ask for help, it was crickets. So I just do it myself. Suzanne.
People struggle with that one.
Yeah. Len struggles with that big time. But he's the first one, like Carlton, I think he says. Oh, no. Len's the first one to help other people all day long and sacrifice his sleep for it. So I don't know.
Look at Suzanne. Suzanne's the first one.
Suzanne says, I have a hard time telling my husband I appreciate him. I'm glad you're talking about this today so I can remind myself to tell him this and give him words of affirmation. Could that be, because you said Sarah struggles with it. Like, some people don't express, like, they don't. You've said this on air, so I'm, right? You said, like, because your words of affirmation.
It's my love language.
And there's nothing wrong with her. It could just be some people just don't get that.
Well, because it doesn't mean much to her.
Yeah.
Like, if you tell Sarah you're proud of her, or she did a great job on something, she'll be like, okay. I mean, she just doesn't feel, that's not how she gets value or feels love.
So for Suzanne, it could just be that. Like,
it could be.
Yeah.
But again, I think for some people, showing appreciation for someone else is akin to admitting you need them. Yeah. And therefore need help.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if the struggle to say I need help would have a close second of I appreciate you.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Do you struggle in that sense? Like, do you struggle to appreciate Len?
No, I text him a lot and tell him specifically in ways that I appreciate him. The area where I want to grow in is telling him I appreciate him in areas where I don't really need it. You know, like, what I really need is time and conversation and whatever. The way he shows his love is other ways. So I'm trying to train myself to recognize those things he does and say, I love that you do this. Like, for example, if you told Sarah constantly words of affirmation, she could easily miss it because she doesn't need it.
She doesn't need it, yeah.
So I need to recognize he's doing it for a reason. He's expressing love. So I don't know. You've
talked about that a lot. I think that's true.
So
we need to begin. We don't just need to expect someone in our life to just give us our love language. We have to recognize when they're showing theirs towards us.
And show appreciation.
Did you see Robert's comment? Right, you passed it. Second.
Oh yeah, Robert. What?
Right there.
Robert, I have a problem admitting I was wrong, thinking Brian was right. The agony. I know. I struggle with that too. Amora says, do you shame or feel hidden shame for people when they ask for help?
Me? No. Again, I think it gains credit. It helps people gain credibility. Because asking for help is true humility. It's you saying, I can't do this alone. I need you. Please help me. That's humility.
It is.
Right?
It is. But do you realize, because I think about in my family, asking for help is hard. I don't know.
You're looking for a reason to not have to ask for help.
Maybe because I'm used to it. Like with the kids, if you don't ask for, like, you can manage. You can manage and figure it out. You know?
But see, I bet you ask the kids for help all day long.
Oh, yeah. They need to help me.
But
all day long. Like, get me water, get me my charger. And then Giselle loves it because she's like, you got so many kids, you can rotate them. And
but see,
yeah,
you don't struggle
different.
to ask for help from people outside of your family.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't struggle to ask
I'm sorry, you do struggle to ask for help from people outside your
yeah.
family. I said that wrong.
Because I feel like they don't owe me.
I was wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Carlton,
you see, I just did it.
Carlton says, I tried that and it didn't work on several occasions.
Huh.
Amora says, yes, but does everyone do that? Many times in the workplace, that is not always the case.
Again, I think that there is a time in the workplace for me when someone asks for help, I am suspect. And that is when I don't know them well and I haven't seen their work.
Oh.
I start to go, do they really need help or are they lazy?
Yeah.
But again, I think once you've established credibility in any sort of relationship, asking for help shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. Are they lazy or are they capable? Which is what somebody's comment was when you're a woman and you work with a bunch of men. Yvonne, it's true though. Come on. It's true. I don't care. It's true. So, thank you.
She does that when she's annoyed with me. She makes a statement, assumes I agree, and just says thank you.
And I'm right. And you're welcome for...
You do that to Len?
No. I don't. Yvonne says, on YouTube, make sure you comment on YouTube. We're watching you. Yvonne says, good morning. I think asking for help was the hardest until I really did. It humbled me. So God's grace is there when we walk in humility. Even Jesus needed help carrying the cross.
Wow, good point, Yvonne.
Wow.
That's our godmother right there.
Sarah on YouTube says, I need help. That's what she struggles with.
I think that is obviously the common one.
I need help? What do you think that is? You think that's a American culture thing? Like we got it. Like we're supposed to be like, no, I got this. This is my thing. I got it. I'm taking care of business.
That could absolutely be a product of American individualism.
Because I'm from Dominican Republic, and over there...
Yeah, I mean, technically you are, but you're really from Rhode Island. Go ahead.
I was... That's so offensive. No.
You were 3 when you moved to Rhode Island.
I was born in DR. My first language is Spanish. My family's in DR. I can't believe I'm explaining this. But what I was going to say is that in Dominican Republic, having, like, asking for help with kids or asking for help in the home, it's very communal. Like, living and aunts, uncles, and neighbors. So I can see how here, I've kind of, because I got here when I was 3, I've adopted that where like you got to take care of business. You got to show that you can handle what you got. And if you're asking for help, then that means you're being dependent. And dependence, am I exaggerating to say that in our culture is looked down on?
Yeah, I think it is. Although I think, you know, what's scary is trying to truly examine what you're good at and what you need help with, what you're not good at. The closer you look, the less you're good at.
Oh, wow. I agree with that, though. I mean, we're only really good at, like, 2 things, maybe.
And it's a scary realization, but I think there's freedom in acknowledging it because then you know when you legitimately do need to ask for help.
Yeah. Are you obligated, for want of a better word, to give back? You used an example on help you've used. Like, do you feel obligated to, like, man, I got to make sure I find a way to help that person back?
When you're in a relationship, no.
Because then it feels like you're using people.
No, like it's hard to explain, but one of the better examples is my neighbor, Broadview Heights Bill, world's greatest neighbor.
Yeah.
That dude is a giver. He's so helpful, and I'll ask him for help without hesitation.
Yeah.
And even though I know the scales are unbalanced, he's done more for me than I've done for him. I know that he's not afraid to ask me for things if he needs them. And I'll bend over backwards to do it for him. And I feel like it's all going to work itself out.
Yeah. Yeah.
In real, like, good relationship, whether it's friendship or whatever, you can trust it will even itself out.
Yeah.
with that mutual respect.
If you know your heart that you're not trying to use, you're just asking because you need help. Jesse says it's very common in Mexico to asking for help from family. It's normal and it's not bad. Carlton says not necessarily. People have a way of making you feel bad if you ask for help.
They do.
Or they will bring it up more times than you want that they helped you. That's annoying.
Yeah.
Hi, Fiola.
Yeah. And those are, I think, generally Carlton as well. Those are like messed up people that are holding that against you that you asked for help. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Deborah says, yes, asking for help may make us feel weak, incapable. It is an act of humility. We are proud people. Yeah. So this tends to be hard for people too.
By the way, for clarity's sake, notice that in this discussion, I've proven I'm working on saying I was wrong because I was wrong in the way I phrased something for, remember?
Okay.
Said it was wrong and I'm sorry. How have you demonstrated that you need help? Go ahead.
That I need help?
You haven't. That's the answer.
In this conversation?
Yeah. What do you need help with? Go ahead. She doesn't even know. She's got it all figured out.
I ask for help all the time.
What do you need help? I'll help you. What do you need?
He said, I'll help you.
I'll help you with something. What do you need help with right now? Go ahead. Maybe today. What do you need help with?
Taking my stuff back to...
Whoa.
I do. Taking my stuff back to the car. I have too much stuff, and then I was spilling stuff in
I
the
can
car.
help you with that. I thought you were going to ask me to, like, really do something here.
Oh, that's horrible.
I don't got time to take your kids anywhere today, but...
You can watch...
I can help you carry stuff to your car.
Can you watch Raina and Josiah and Elijah for
Just going to give me a difficult kid? Is that what you're doing?
Please? Wow.
We'll trade. How about that?
Sandy says, asking for help suggests a sign of weakness for us. Oh, yeah. Eva says, I feel like if I can't obtain it on my own, I don't need it. I don't want to put myself in a position where I need something that I have to rely on others. See, that's real right there. I don't want to be let down, and I don't want to put pressure. That's real right there. So explain why she's wrong.
No, I think that's a legitimate thing. That people are so averse to asking for help that they just only do things they can do. But I just think more than anything else, you're missing out.
On what?
On when you show others that you need them, they will reciprocate. And it's wonderful to help people.
But you inconvenience people.
And then the more you do that, the more they'll reciprocate in real relationship.
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel good to help somebody?
It feels good, but to burden someone with your... Like, there are times...
It's not a burden.
It is a burden.
It's not a burden for my neighbor Bill to help me with my car.
Okay, that's one thing. But it is, don't you feel like to ask somebody, oh, can you watch my kids? I got to go do something, whatever. You know, I picture people like, oh my gosh, can you imagine? And like,
do you know what I think the problem is there's people who abuse asking for help. They ask for help when they don't need it.
Yeah.
If you actually ask for help when you actually need help.
That's true, yeah.
Then I think you'll experience the joy of it. Did you see what my wife wrote?
Ask for help dealing with Brian. Oh my God. Oh my goodness, isn't that the truth?
She was over here watching me give this to you.
You know, Sarah gives me help. She gives me help every once in a while during the show. She'll text me and she'll like let me know that she understands how difficult it is dealing with you. And that is so relieving because sometimes I think I'm crazy. And she'll be like, dude, like...
No, she loves me.
No, she knows that.
She probably finds this very attractive.
Brittany says, there's a difference between asking for help and taking advantage. Your mom is here.
Yeah.
What does your mom struggle with?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Oh my goodness.
There is a difference between asking for help and taking advantage.
Yeah.
Like when you legitimately need help, you should be free to do it. But I think what people have an aversion to is like going, I need to get better asking for help. So Brian, randomly watch my kids. I don't need you to, but please do that now.
There are times where it's like, okay, if I do it, it will be difficult. If you help me, it'll be easier. Let's say with the kids, you know? And so when you're like, okay, then I can do it. It'll just be more difficult. Do you see what I'm saying? There are times where, and that's like, let's say carrying extra stuff where somebody could say, I can help you. And you're like, no, I got it. And then you look all stressed. You know, because you're like, if I really had to, I can do this. That's where you slowly live a life where you're like overburdened doing everything. Because you're like, if I really tried, I can do this.
But perhaps it is really distinguishing what actual need is.
Yeah.
Like you're describing a lot of situations where they just don't need anything.
Give me an example.
Like, it'd be easier to go to the store if you took 2 of my kids. Is that a need?
No, there was a
That's not a
time
need.
that I watched one of your little boys.
Yeah.
Because you had to go somewhere. And you said, I can take him, but it would be easier if you watched him.
I said that?
Yeah. It was somewhere you were going to go with Grace at school.
Yeah, that was
wasn't
really close to
impossible.
this. Well,
And that's where I would have said, which is wrong.
Interesting.
Oh, I'll just take him. You know, because I would have thought if I ask Devana, it's like, dude, like I could just, you know.
interesting. Yeah, because you're right on that. I was wrong. I'm sorry.
But that's good.
Did you see what I just did? Did you see?
Oh my gosh.
Again.
You did it.
Do you appreciate me?
You're modeling what I'm saying, where it's like, it's okay. Like, that's living in community.
But here's what I felt okay doing, if I'm going to analyze that. I hadn't ever asked you to watch one of my kids before.
Mm-hmm.
I'd exhausted every other option I had for not taking one of my kids to, I think it was conferences or something. It was
yeah.
a doctor's appointment that was serious with one of my kids
Oh,
or something.
it was like something at a school.
Yeah, it was like
Stop
a school
trying to
event.
make it serious.
It was like it was something that I needed to focus on with an older
Yeah,
kid.
yeah.
And he would have totally distracted me being there with my little guy. And so since I'd never asked for help before, I exhausted every other option. I really thought this would be best to not have him with me.
Yeah.
I asked you for help.
Yeah. Jack Epperson says, it's not always about hard, difficult. Thank you. Mostly it's about remembering to say those things in the moment.
Yeah.
Sandy says, your mom, sometimes it's kind to let someone help you. Oh, that's nice. When someone genuinely wants to help, we should let him.
Yeah.
And as a friend,
My mom is right.
as a friend, to have you ask me, it did feel like it increased the intimacy in our friendship, because it was like, that's cool that you felt comfortable asking me. And I think that's what we steal from relationships.
So you're saying I'm good at that?
That was good, and it helped me.
No, you said I'm good at asking for help is what you said.
You are very good at asking for help, actually.
You have trouble with appreciating me.
Oh my goodness, goodness. Sandy said, your mom says, love you too. Both of us.
She
Thank
has to
you.
say that because you're sitting
No,
here.
your mom is cool.
She loves me more.
No,
so.
whatever. Nathan says, Brian, I'll also help watch your kids. And he he said, Jannelle, I'll help you watch your kids. We should send all 11 of them to Nathan's house.
No, we've got a select few that you're going to watch, Nathan.
Yes! It doesn't even have to be all 11.
You'll probably
I got
end up
3.
with 5. I've got 2.
Oh my gosh. That's so... Will you take them, Nathan? Just those 5.
All right. We better
Wait,
get out
I
of
gotta
here.
say hi to people. Nathan said, great job, Brian.
Thank you.
And I want to say hi to Lisa on YouTube. She says, good morning to Jannelle, Brian, Ron, and Kelly. Hi, Sarah on YouTube, Yvonne on YouTube.
She asked me a question. You don't like questions for me?
Nuh-uh. Oh, where is Brian in the birth order in his family growing up? This will not surprise you. Go.
What is that supposed to mean?
Because I'm the oldest, and
So
we
you're
got something
annoying
to
and
say.
you try to act like you're in charge all the time.
Oh my God.
I'm the youngest, so I'm
the
really
youngest.
fun to be with, interesting, exciting,
Man, don't
kind
do
of
nothing.
improvisational.
Got people.
Yeah.
Great combination for a morning show, actually.
Is it?
Carlton says, I didn't ask for help when my mother died. I planned everything because I didn't want to ask people, and then they forget. I don't like that because when people ask me for help, I try to go above and beyond. So
Yeah.
it's areas that it's good to identify, and then we'll get better at.
Yeah.
And thank you, Rob, and Kelly, Sherry, Wayne, Jack, Jesse, Giselle, Pamela. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you as well.
I'm your favorite.
Giselle,
I'm your favorite.
We all know, Giselle, that you don't struggle with any of these. Special thanks to my wife, who showed up in here. She's the best. She knows it. And she even pretended to have a weakness for us all today. Wasn't that nice?
You're awesome, Sarah. Thank you for your support.
She's the best. And Janelle's going to keep working on all those because she's struggling
I got
with
issues.
all of them. Again, special thanks to Scranton Road Promotional Marketing for all the swag we have here and this 3rd edition mug. Listen live to our show as we give these away, sometimes to new callers, sometimes to great comments. So you want to be part of the show. The Brian and Jannelle 3rd edition travel mug, courtesy of our friends at Scranton Road Promotional Marketing, and today's overtime as well, courtesy of them.
Subscribe to YouTube, share the Facebook feed. It helps out. Make sure to share, subscribe.
All right.